it was an incident that happened earlier that day, and I talked to two officers or whatever, and I believe that it's the same officer that shot my mother.
OMG! Let's dive into the story that's more shocking than finding out your crush follows your Finsta. We're talking about the tragic case of Sonya Massey, and let me tell you, this situation is messier than my room after a weekend binge-watching session. So buckle up, buttercups, because we've got some new developments that are going to make your jaw hit the floor faster than I hit snooze on Monday mornings. Remember Officer Sean Grayson, the cop who unalived Sonya? Well, it turns out he had actually interacted with her just hours before the incident. I know, right? Talk about a plot twist. This tea comes straight from Sonya's son, Malachi. He spilled that Officer Grayson was already aware of Sonya's mental condition before he was called to her house that fateful night. Now, I don't know about you, but that's giving me major sus vibes. It's like walking into a test knowing all the answers but still failing on purpose. Make it make sense, but wait, it gets even spicier. Sonya's father, James Wilburn, dropped another bombshell. He said they didn't even know Sonya was unalived by an officer until the body cam footage leaked on social media. Excuse me? That's like finding out your bestie got engaged through their Instagram post. Not cool, police department, not cool at all. Now, let's talk about Officer Grayson for a hot minute. This man had more red flags than my toxic ex. We're talking 2 DUI convictions, getting booted from the army, and hopping between 6 different police departments in just 4 years. That's more job hopping than me trying to figure out my college major. But here's the kicker. It wasn't until he took Sonya's life that they finally decided to do something about it. I mean, come on. That's like waiting until your house is on fire to install smoke detectors. Too little, too late, if you ask me. Let's rewind a bit and break down what exactly went down that night. Sonya, who had been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, thought there was an intruder in her home. So she did what any of us would do. She called the police for help. But instead of getting the assistance she needed, things took a horrifying turn. The body cam footage that leaked online is like something out of a nightmare. The officers arrived with an attitude stinkier than week-old leftovers. They were judging Sonya based on her house and neighborhood, faster than I judge people's outfits at brunch. When Sonya finally opened the door, things went from bad to worse quicker than my phone battery on a night out. Officer Grayson spotted a pot of water boiling on the stove and told Sonya to turn it off, but when she went to do just that, he flipped the script faster than my mood during that time of the month. He started yelling, asking where she was going as if he hadn't just told her to go to the kitchen. Make it make sense! Sonya, bless her heart, tried to lighten the mood by jokingly saying she was rebuking him in the name of Jesus. But honey, that did not go over well.
Check on her. We don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Okay.
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from the hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Well, Officer Grayson went from 0 to 100 real quick, threatening to unalive her right then and there. And tragically, that's exactly what he did. What's even more heartbreaking is that Sonya was still alive after being shot, but Officer Grayson told his partner not to bother with medical help. I can't even with this level of callousness. It's like telling someone not to call an ambulance for your friend who just face-planted on the sidewalk. Not okay.
Bring EMS now. We got to head into the female. Head into female. 1078.
I was on. I'm gonna go get my kit.
No, you head. It's your she's done. You can go get it, but that's head.
To add insult to injury, Officer Grayson then tried to justify his actions by claiming Sonya was about to throw hot water at him. Excuse me, we all saw the footage, and that's about as true as me saying I'm going to start my diet tomorrow. Sonya was in her own home, scared and looking for help. She wasn't trying to start a water fight.
Dude, I'm not taking boiling water in the head. And look, it came right to our feet, too. God damn it.
Now, let's talk about the aftermath. Officer Grayson has been arrested and charged with first-degree murder, and he's being held without bond. Even President Biden came out with a statement condemning the officer's actions and calling for justice. It's about time, if you ask me, but here's where things get even more twisted. Sonya's family isn't just sitting back and accepting the official story, they're spilling more tea than a clumsy waiter at high tea. Malachi, Sonya's son, revealed that Officer Grayson had interacted with Sonya earlier that same day. He was already aware of her condition and her need for help. This has people wondering if Sonya's death was premeditated. I mean, that's a theory more chilling than my ex's heart.
That happened earlier that day, and I talked to two officers or whatever, and I believe that it's the same officer that shot my mother. I talked to his partner first, then the second officer, that's the one that I think the one that did that. I talked to them, and they told me that because she was driving herself to the hospital or something. She wasn't even at the house when this was going on. But she was driving herself to the hospital. They told me that they were going to go there to help her. And then this happens.
Yeah. So she was seeking help because she was trying to get help. And it's like Mr. Wilgorn said, she was trying to get help. She needed a helping hand, not a to the face.
That's right.
She just needed those officers to extend an ounce of humanity, not to kill her.
And it doesn't stop there. Sonya's father dropped another bombshell in an interview with Gayle King. He said the police initially told the family that Sonya was unalive by an intruder. They didn't find out it was Officer Grayson until the body cam footage leaked. Talk about a cover-up. That's shadier than me trying to hide my online shopping packages from my mom. But thank goodness for that body cam footage, right? Without it, we might never have known the truth. It's a stark reminder of why transparency and accountability in law enforcement are so crucial. We need that tea spilled, and we need it now.
Hearing that you were told conflicting stories, what were you told, the circumstances of this?
Well, I was never told that it was a deputy involved. We were under the impression that she was killed by the intruder or some other person from the street or something, and they just went in there and found her dead body. I did not find out that the deputy killed her until my brother asked for Sonya's address, and I gave it to him, and he said, "Brother, this says deputies involved." And I'm like, what are you talking about? But we were all misled to believe that. And then there was a story that this was self-inflicted, a self-inflicted.
Oh my goodness.
So I think the cover-up started from just right after it happened. And thank God for the body camera footage. It's probably the most horrible and heart-wrenching thing that we've ever seen in our lives. But if it were not for the body cam footage, we would not have known that this occurred.
Yes, I say thank goodness too for that body cam footage, because we in the video it clearly shows she was not approaching him with steaming hot water, number one, which is what he said at the beginning. When he was asked about it, clearly there was no. She had said to the officer, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," which seemed to set him off. What do you think she meant? What does that mean? What was going on that you think that she would say those words to him?
I think that she feared for her life. There was some premonition that she had. And it seems like he was just an emissary of Satan. And that's what caused him to do what he did. It's just unexplainable.
Yeah.
Now, let's circle back to Officer Grayson's background. This man had more red flags than a parade in China. Removed from the Army? Check. 2 DUIs? Check. Bouncing between 6 police departments in 4 years? Double check. He even needed high-stress decision classes, which he didn't even bother to attend. I mean, come on! That's like signing up for a gym membership and never going. Actually, no, it's way worse because lives are at stake here. Sonya's uncle, Raymond Massey, summed it up perfectly when he said, "I feel like he never should have been hired. How did he even reach this point? There were so many red flags." Preach, Raymond. We're all wondering the same thing. Of course, the internet has been buzzing with theories and reactions. Some people are pointing out how quickly Officer Grayson flipped when Sonya mentioned Jesus, saying it was like she called out a demon in him. Others are wondering if there was some previous connection between Sonya and Officer Grayson that we don't know about yet. The plot thickens, besties. So what do we make of all this? Was Sonya's death premeditated? Did Officer Grayson have some personal vendetta? Or is this just another tragic example of systemic issues in law enforcement? These are the questions keeping me up at night, right along with wondering if I remembered to submit that assignment on time. One thing's for sure, this case is far from over. Sonya's family is fighting for justice, and they're not going to let this go quietly into the night. And honestly, good for them. We need more people willing to speak up and demand accountability. So what do you think, besties? Do you believe Officer Grayson planned this horrific act? Or was it a terrible split-second decision gone wrong? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tea-spilling sessions. Remember, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. But also be informed, be vocal, and be an agent of change. We can't bring Sonya back, but we can honor her memory by demanding better from those sworn to protect and serve. Until next time, stay safe, stay fabulous, and keep fighting the good fight. Goodbye.